Yo! It's the Kirbs! Oh my god, they've already made 64 Kirby games? Holy easels! Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the fan-favorite series of collecting as few point stars in Kirby games as I possibly can. In my last video, I played through Planet Robobot while doing this challenge, and you guys immediately invalidated that video with ESP being able to skip countless stars. I don't know how, in all of my days of playing the game, script writing, and editing, that thought never crossed my mind. So hopefully this run doesn't become invalidated before I hit the upload button. Alright. We're all here for a Kirby 64 challenge. And what better way to start off a video than with my opinions of this game, since that went swimmingly in Return to Dreamland. But yeah, I don't really like this game. I actually only played through this game for the first time about a year ago, and even when I was playing it casually, I was just kind of whelmed, to put it lightly. For some reason, I find the controls really finicky and sometimes unresponsive. And also, when I was a kid, I did try playing this game on the Wii Virtual Console, but something has always seemed off-putting about this game. I've never seen anyone else share this sentiment, but this game invokes the same feelings in me as something like Liminal Spaces. I think it's a combination of the very polygonal graphics, the sometimes ominous-sounding music that randomly fluctuates tempo, that creepy freaking eye that I swear I've seen in my dreams. So that's kind of how I feel about this game. I'll talk more about the things I do and don't like about this game throughout the video, since I don't want this intro to be too monotonous. First, before we begin though, let's establish the rules. If you're a returning viewer, you already know that no glitches are allowed in this run, as well that I will be 100%ing the game. Mostly. Yeah, there always seems to be a catch. So I will be collecting all the crystal shards the game has to offer, but I will not be going for these little enemy cards that you get at the end of each level. There are a total of 81 of them, and they add absolutely nothing of value. So they will be completely
Oh my goodness!
Okay. Can't believe I just read that in a Kirby game. Okay, anyway, how many point stars does it take to beat Kirby 64, the Crystal Shards? Let's find out. Alright, so point stars in Kirby 64. I do not remember this game having stars, as I thought Return to Dreamland was the first to introduce them. Well, they work pretty much the same here as they do in modern Kirby games, the only real difference being you only need 30 to get an extra life. That being the case, there are noticeably less stars spread throughout each level than there are in modern titles. And of course, do I even need to mention the ability system in this game? As much crap as I'll be giving this game has by far the most abilities, as combining two different abilities with one another creates a completely unique ability. While there are only 7 normal abilities here, there are a total of 28 combinations to make. This, in theory, is absolutely bonkers. However, about half the ability combos are straight caca. But once again, I'm getting off topic. Let's talk about the first level of Kirby 64. These blue and purple rhombuses are our main collectibles, Crystal Shards. There are usually 3 in a level to collect, and we will be getting every last one for 100%. Let's see. Oh, this game has interactable flowers on the ground like we're used to seeing, but hey, they're completely aesthetic, meaning we will never need to worry about stars from flowers. That is quite the relief after 3 straight games needing to worry about them. The second shard introduces ability-specific shards, and these things are the bane of my existence. Without a guide, at least. A lot of the levels the ability-specific shards are in do not offer the freaking ability you need. And without a guide, this forces a lot of unnecessary backtracking, as you'd never know what ability you'll need before getting to the crystal. Well, besides all that, this one here requires an ability combo with Bomb, which is offered in the previous room. The last shard here is obtained when this innocent Waddle Dee is possessed by Mr. Evil Eye over here and turns into a Waddle Doo? Well, we let the 4th of July rain down on Mr. Do here, and we make him cry? Oh, now I just feel bad. Well, we do need that last shard, so get out of here, you vermin. Okay, last crystal grabbed, which ends level 1. The end of level minigame here is to jump onto an item on this blanket, just avoid the stars, and we're golden. It's 1-2 time, and once again, as most of you have probably noticed by now, I brought the universal star counter back on the top right of your screen. There is one down here at the bottom of the screen, but it can be kinda hard to tell how many stars we have with these little notches, so I feel a number at the top is a little more accessible. Our first shard to collect in this level is below this little gondola here, and Kirby games love their gondolas. Well, here is where I rediscovered that Kirby has a finite amount of time in which he can puff in the air. There are a few stars above the shard, but they are not an issue. This drop-off in the next room was really close, however the hitboxes for the stars aren't too big in this game, so we do have some leeway. We get the second shard by killing a springy boy, and then we're met with one of my favorite Kirby characters of all time, Adeline. I'm not really even too sure why she's my favorite. She's always just kind of stood out to me. Well, like most things in this game, she becomes possessed by the spooky spectacle, and we need to fight her creations? Like a pointy head guy, Bronto Bert, four-legged spider, mummy eye, and what did you draw there, Adeline? Something not PG, I assume? Well, she eventually gets so angry at us, she picks a fight with the old pink puffball himself. Oh, there she goes. Alright, we pick up the final shard, and there are no stars here yet again. The third stage here in Kirby 64 is this fortress castle place, where we need to grab Cutter for the first crystal. And that first crystal is just a few rooms into this castle. All that needs to be done is just to destroy this green platform with Cutter, and the crystal is ours. The next shard is right above us in the following room, and the third is grabbed after a fight with Possessed King DDD, who then befriends us? Wow, I guess even the big bad penguin himself doesn't want that creepy-ass eye thing terrorizing the universe. Well, that being the case, we end off 1-3 with no stars. Okay, wow, we're already at the World 1 boss. That was fast. And hey, who else but Wispy? Well, I see where Planet Robobot got this circular moving boss arena from. I had actually completely forgot that this boss arena was like this. After murdering his children, though, he gets a little mad at us and unleashes hot fury. But eventually he does go down with a very dopey-looking sad face, and we're already done with World 1 without a single star in sight. Our first stop in World 2 is about as basic as it gets. This dusty stage has 3 super easy shards, and the game even gives us the abilities needed for the third ability-specific shard. How thoughtful. 2-2 is where I start to notice that I just really suck at this game. Especially in the later levels, I was getting the absolute crap beaten out of me by everything possible. Well, besides that, the first shard is down here in this rundown building, the second just kinda chillin' down here, and the third crystal is in this room here. This is where we get introduced to a new gimmick within Kirby 64. Riding atop DDD's back. Okay then. Well, this significantly limits our moveset, as well as makes our hitbox way bigger. Kind of reminds me of a certain robotic suit that we just got done being tortured with. But instead of being fun and interesting to use, DDD is just a dude with a hammer that can jump. Amazing. And so, the game asks us to get from this side of the stars to the other. Okay, well, let's put a pin in that for now. Let's just go up here and grab the last shard here. Maybe the stars will just despawn. Who knows, right? Huh. Well, they certainly didn't despawn. Maybe DDD can slide on the ground? Nope, they even took that away from him. Well, unless DDD can turn himself into Snaky DD, we need to collect our first star of the challenge. But hey, we've made it significantly farther without needing to pick up a star than any challenge thus far. That's a win in my book. That does end the level though, meaning we officially have 1 star in the books. 2-3 starts off with us immediately needing the stone ability for the first shard. And what does this game not give us in this stage? So, we must backtrack to a stage that does have it, and make a return. We smash the stone barrier and collect the first shard. And while this little quicksand pit was quite the close call, the next one does see us collecting another star, as the hole is slightly smaller here. I even tried crouching to make my hitbox that much smaller, but no dice. Down below though, we kill a big, pointy, floating fish, and get the next shard. And somehow, this itsy-bitsy little hole here with stars is big enough for us to squeeze through without collecting one. Up ahead, in order to enter this little hole in the wall, we do need to pick up 1 star from here, but other than getting the final shard, that about does it for that level. We gain 2 more stars here, now totaling 3. 2-4 makes us do some more backtracking. This time we need bomb and spark to make a light bulb? I don't think a bomb and an electrical spark equal a light bulb, but sure, I'll accept it. These stupid oscillating platforms make getting the first shard really annoying. But next, we get to use our newfangled light bulb to see these 3 pictures on this wall here. Then, in the next room, we push down the corresponding pictures on the floor to get the second shard. The last one is gotten after defeating this boss here, but the final room of this stage was a little spooky. Since Kirby doesn't have infinite flight anymore, we need to use these platforms to make it to the end of the stage. Luckily, these platforms are just wide enough that Kirby doesn't touch the stars, and we make it out of 2-4, star-free. I don't think I've mentioned this yet, but I really shouldn't have to at this point. Boss fights will never spawn point stars, so the boss fights are only mentioned because Magalar will sue me if I don't. Please, this dude has a gun pointed at my head and he's becoming less and less stable as the hours go on. Help! Sorry, must have had something stuck in my throat there. But, yeah, this polygonal mess is taken down, no problems, and we march on. Blub blub bitches, we're back in another water world. Well, this level in particular is more seaside than water, but we'll get there in due time. After entering this cove, we get the first shard that's just sitting here, and who are you? That is the goofiest looking enemy I've ever seen in a Kirby game, and he's just kinda chilling, shaking those maracas around like his life depends on it. We get the next shard after beating a boss, and the third with the ice bomb combo. Wait, roll that back. We just collected 4 stars from that cannon blast. Yikes. Of course I tried floating up to the shard, but the path is blocked until we're shot from the cannon. Oh well, let's get out of here. Our new total now stands at 7 stars. One of the shards in 3-2 requires the stone and fire combo, so just in case this stage doesn't offer those abilities, we backtrack to 1-2 to get them. Starting the level proper though, and it starts out pretty rudimentary. A decent wave of baddies, a little cave, and a collapsing bridge with stars on them. The first shard is just up here, and is made available to us once we kill Mr. Krabs.
Money.
And after exiting the little alcove... oh, hey there, little Waddle Dee. What? Oh, we're going down a rapid. This is gonna be a problem, isn't it? Yep, it most certainly is. I was able to skip 2 out of 3 of these stars in this row here, and the second shard can be nabbed by just barely avoiding the stars around it. A lot of stars can be skipped on this ride with something I've dubbed damage jumping. When Kirby plows into a block in the water, it sends the boat careening upwards, and allows us to skip a majority of the stars. Sadly, this method doesn't work on every bunch of stars, but it is helpful. We're also able to jump between stars like so. I would say that these are pixel-perfect jumps, but they are kinda lenient. The last of the stars are skipped here with very precise jumping. Kirby and Waddle Dee die. Oh, no, just kidding. We collect the final shard here behind this waterfall, and we can finish the rest of the level starless. We only collected 2 stars in that boat ride, now making our star sum 9. Before entering 3-3, we once again return to 1-2 to get another required ability combo. This time bomb and cutter, making a sort of explosive shuriken. Not really a huge fan of this combo either, and I was getting absolutely dunked on by every bad dude in existence. But besides that, the first shard is in this little hole in the ground, and is obtained with the help of our ninja stars. Actually, one of the shards require yet another ability combo, this one being stone and cutter. Luckily, the stage does offer both these abilities right next to each other, so, I went to fight this boss, and immediately after defeating him, I lose my voice. Immediately after defeating him, the second shard spawns, and since Kirby was in the stone formation, he fell straight into the next room. And after I went back up to get the shard, it was just gone. So that wasn't very cash money of you, Kirby64. The next shard is even more stupid. So I broke this wall that required me to use stone and cutter, yeah, but the shard is way up top, and as we all know by now, Kirby has a very limited flight. And so apparently what you're supposed to do is wait until Kirby turns into the Rick formation of the ability, as there are several other characters Kirby can chisel himself into, and then proceed to dry hump the wall to reach the crystal? Who in God's name is gonna figure this out without a guide? Well, even though there were some annoying shards, we reached the end without any stars. I really like 3-4's aesthetic. The calming purple and blue gradient background and the peaceful underwater reefs make me feel warm and fuzzy inside. And besides some tight squeezes through narrow underwater tunnels, all 3 shards were a piece of cake, and we finished the level with no problem. And the World 3 boss probably holds the easiest boss fight in the entire game. I just dropped bombs on this dude's noggin and he did absolutely nothing about it. He even came back for round 2 and still got absolutely creamed. With that being the case, we move on to World 4 with 9 stars in total. Man, we're really doing well in this challenge so far. Let's hope we can keep it up. World 4, or Neo Star, is kind of jungly themed, I guess. The first shard to get is hidden in a breakable floor right here. Second is directly ahead down here, and the last one is hidden amongst the treetops right here. Once again, a very mindless level, and I am not complaining in the slightest. Oh hey, look, we're back in 1-2 again. Who would have saw that coming? This time, it's for the stone bomb combo. And entering 4-2, we are immediately sent spiraling downwards in a cave, but before reaching the bottom, there's a sneaky shard just kind of vibing right here. In the following room, Kirby and Waddle Dee get to ride a rickety minecart. And while I thought this minecart ride would have been an issue, it was actually completely star-free. The ride does hold the second shard, and we do pick that up without a problem. A little later on in the level, we pick up the final shard here with the help of a stick of dynamite, and yeah, this ability combo is probably the worst in the entire game. Is there another ability in the Kirby franchise that actively hurts you? I mean, probably, but I can't think of any. Okay, before we leave this level, I just wanted to mention that this part right here had me by the balls for like 10 minutes. There's a perfect storm of annoying happening right here with this crusher, this star, and this bone-throwing doofus. So, yeah, giant middle fingers to this part of the level. Alright, once we're past that, we can get out of here. 4-3 is home to, in my opinion, the worst shard in the entire game. The stage itself is a cliffside, mountainy setting, which is unique for this game. The first shard is just down here below a platform that only Needle can break. The second one is just flat out stupid. So our good friend Adeline draws us up a painting of a random object, and in the next room, we need to sculpt said object. The problem I have with this little puzzle is that there is only one solution for each puzzle, and you are given absolutely no indication on which blocks to break besides the drawing that Adeline gives you. So your vision of a top hat may look completely different than what the game says is correct. Well, luckily it is 2024, so I did not hesitate to use a guide for the shard. Final shard here couldn't be more obvious, and then there's a rock formation at the end that spells out Kirby. Okay, interesting. I do not remember that on my first playthrough. Even though this level did require me to go off on a bit of a tangent, we schmoove our way out of here with 3 shards and no stars. 4-4 requires an icy ability to be used for a shard, so I went searching for ice, and I kept searching, and searching, and... God, does ice exist anywhere in this game? This has to be the rarest ability at this point in the game, right? Well, after 20 minutes of searching, 1-2 yet again had our backs, as there was a little chilly snowman in the second room of the stage. Alright, enough of that annoying detour. The level itself is actually super straightforward. All 3 crystals were grabbed, and while this ending section with the rising lava and very small platforms with stars on them was a little sphincter clenching, we rise to the top of the volcano with no stars. Ooh, a big bad lava monster. Ooh, scary. How bad can this phallic puddle of goo be? Whoa. What was that hitbox? This dude has aimbot on. Get out of here, you oversized, boiling hot tamale. Well, we finished the entirety of World 4 without grabbing a single star. And we move on to World 5 with a record low 9 stars. Alrighty, on to Shiver Star. Oh, now we're gonna get an abundance of enemies with the ice ability. Yeah, World 5 is the quintessential snowy world, and the game laughs in my face from all the struggles I've had trying to find the ice ability. Hey, yo, Mr. Popper, come get your penguin! Jeez, Bud is out for blood today. These ladders up next have stars on them, but they aren't tall enough to where Kirby can't puff up the mountain. And next, instead of a river raft, we go tobogganing. This does mean we end our streak of starless levels. There are 2 igloos we must run through that have 3 or 4 stars in them. We can jump over some of them in the igloo, meaning we only need to grab 1 of them, but I couldn't find a way to skip all of them. This igloo has a star and a shard on top, but we can avoid the star here by damage jumping over it. The rest of the ride is starless, and we beat a mini-boss for the second crystal. The third one is underneath this iced lake. In order to get to it, though, I need to enter a narrow passage that has 2 stars hidden within. No amount of hugging the ceiling or the floor helped me pass the stars. Okay, well, that does it for this level. Our star counter is sitting at 12 now. 5-2 has Kirby shooting up to the skies. The first crystal is hiding beneath the floor right here. Okay, I didn't mention this last time, but why do the green slime from Minecraft act as cannons in this game? I never understood... Oh, no. We're gonna need to pick up some stars here, aren't we? Well, there's a shard here in the upper right path, and I did try to see if there was a path that didn't include any stars, but the only way out of here is straight up, meaning there are 3 stars needed to advance the level. Everything else here is smooth sailing, and we exit the level with 15 stars in total. What better place to have a mall-themed level than in the snow world? Huh. You know, I wonder if this was a really early precursor to the mall-themed levels in Forgotten Land. Well, the first 2 shards are simple enough. The third, while starless, is the second most annoying shard in the game. Here, Adeline draws random fruits on the wall, and in the next room, we need to push down the corresponding colors of the fruits. Sounds easy enough, right? Well, of course it's not. Sometimes the fruit she draws is just... This could literally be anything, and this can be a lemon or a lime. There's no way to tell. It's so stupid. Thankfully, I pushed the correct colors down the first time, but usually this is just a giant, infuriating guessing game. Nothing else worth mentioning here, though, as we leave the mall and head for the next level. The first shard to pick up in 5-4 is grabbed with the help of the Stone Needle combo, and by the skin of my balding hairline, we're able to pick up this shard starless. Next up is another DDD romp, and this star above the Gordo is necessary to grab. I tried damage boosting through the spiky bastard, but DDD just kept getting knocked backwards. And of course, I tried jumping over it, under it, behind it, you name it, I couldn't seem to get past it. The final shard is also a very close call. These walls mean big business, and are trying to very rapidly squish a poor Kirbo to death. So I had to quickly jump between the stars like so, and nab the shard. Quite the close shave if I do say so myself. We end this level only picking up 1 star, making the new total 16 stars. We beat the dookie out of... Okay, this is totally a transformer, and move on to the final world of Kirby 64. So, I guess World 6 is supposed to be some sort of corrupted / alternate reality version of World 1, because it bears a lot of similarities. Like, for example, the obvious shard placement right here, and the mini-boss fight in the middle, and the shard here obstructed by an ability-specific blockade. Yeah, this is just the first level again. What the heck? Well, much like the first level, this one is starless as well. Remember that off-putting music I was talking about before? Yeah, this level's music just sounds like a nightmare personified. I never heard this track as a kid, but I'm sure if I did, it would have haunted me for months. Well, the long short of this level is that it is star-free, but the last shard was the devil in disguise. You see, I entered this room without an ability, and come to realize I needed Cutter to get the last shard. No biggie, I just go back a little in the level and pick up this green dude. I come back to the room with the shard, and there's no way to break the blocks below me. So I was supposed to enter this room with Cutter on the first go, then use this invincibility candy that Adeline provides. But only one can ever spawn in, so I had to play the whole level again just to get this one last stupid shard. I swear to God, the next time another shard inconveniences me this much, I'm gonna shove a shard up my ass! Okay, 6-3, and holy crap, this is the last level of the game? Already? Wow, okay then. And it's just a typical boss rush. Wow. Alright, well, what an anticlimactic way to end the challenge. But we do finish the level, fight the first final boss, which is this weird decahedron type guy, and... Okay, I am not embarrassed to admit this, but up until a few months ago, I legit thought this dude's name was just Oxygen. I mean, come on, that just looks like the elemental compound for dioxygen. Okay, well, we intrude this guy's farting cactus butthole, and we finish Kirby 64 with a record low 16 stars. The combination of this being a very short game and the low amount of stars in general made the grand total super low. So I may just have to do a max star count for this run. Let me know in the comments if you guys want to see that challenge in the near future. Hey, thanks for watching! Again, sorry for this video being a little shorter. I could have dragged out some parts in this video to make it 35 to 40 minutes long, but I didn't want to lose any of your interests. Speaking of interest, I ran a poll last week asking if you guys would be down to see a challenge video in the Yoshi's Island series, and the results were a resounding yes. So that will most likely be my next video. Make sure to join the Discord down below, as the community challenge is still going for Meta Nightmare, and we need all the brain power we can get. And hey, if you know any taskers that would be interested in this challenge, please let them know, because we need people with an abundance of knowledge in Nightmare and Dreamland. Other than that though, that will be all for this video. I really do hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time.